Yes, you heard that right. It's not just your game crashing this time, it's Intel crashing with legal troubles. Boys and girls, welcome to Tech Troubles with a Twist. Today we are diving into the chip-tastrophe that's got Intel's engineers sweating bullets and gamers crying into their motherboards. Or it could actually be the keyboards. Yes, we're talking about the glorious meltdown of the Intel 13 and 14 Gen CPUs. Class action lawsuit, you said? Absolutely, there is one, and I will show you where you can easily join the bucket list with the link down in the description. Yes, you heard that right. It's not just your game crashing this time, it's Intel crashing with legal troubles. With your name and a few details, you're on the bucket list waiting for that sweet cash once the lawsuits get settled.
But there's another lawsuit on the way.
Oh my. Intel? But to spice things up, it seems that high-end PC builder Puget Systems dropped some juicy stats, well, basically pointing that AMD's chips have a bigger failure rate than the Intel 13 and 14 Gen? How's that, I wonder? So, it's high time a firm has actually begun investigating the instability and crashing issues of the Intel 13 and 14 Gen CPUs. This might actually turn into a class action lawsuit. It looks like finally Intel will have a hard time getting away with such a serious problem with its faulty processors that have led to a major outrage among its customers. The racking up of instability issues caused by its Intel 13 and 14 Gen CPUs have escalated to the point that is now being dealt with by Abington Cole Ellery firm, which specializes of course in class action lawsuits and IP problems. The law firm explains the issue in brief, also acknowledging the latest development in the stories that revolve around the 65-watt CPUs. If the lawsuit gets filed against Intel, it may result in the company to pay compensations to the affected customers. A lawyer also posted on Reddit stating that Intel is not granting RMAs to all customers. Some users have stated that Intel now has started processing RMAs, and it all requires sending in a photo of the affected CPU to get a new one as a replacement. But if Intel works according to its pledge, then it could mean a very long and hefty RMA process that affects hundreds of thousands, if not millions of such chips. Ouch! There have been cases of 100% failure rate with Intel's high-end Raptor Lakes and its refresh chips that have led many users to switch to AMD platforms, especially when Intel did not process the RMA to all of its impacted users, but recently has pledged to do so. We have already created a complete timeline that lists all of the developments in the story since the first time the issue appeared, and it looks like the new lawsuit might have a significant impact on it. It all starts back in December of 2022 with the first instance of out-of-memory issues on the 13-core i9 CPUs, well, that were of course reported back in 2022. That's according to Reddit. This is a few months after the release of the Intel 13 Gen CPUs and the RTX 40 GPUs. Throughout 2023, several users have started reporting game crashes and issues in high-profile AAA games such as Callisto Protocol and Hogwarts Legacy, among a few others. Both titles are based on Unreal Engine, released back in 2023, and feature shaded compilation process at the start. There are currently thousands of such issues reported on Steam community forums and Reddit. In February of this year, a post by Sebastian Castellanos brings the issue to the limelight, highlighting the worrying trend of stability issues affecting the 14 and the 13 Gen CPUs. Also in February, various other tech outlets started reporting the issue and bringing the matter onto the mainstream media. Quickly, it is pointed out that the underclocking and undervolting of the chips can result in better stability. In April of 2024, Nvidia issued a formal statement that the stability issues are not related to its GPUs, but rather to Intel CPUs. Also, as a response, Intel announced its investigation into the reports of instability issues affecting the 13 and 14 Gen shortly after. Also in April, motherboards makers quickly roll out the baseline power profiles in the new BIOS, which lower power limits on the high-end 14 and 13 Gen CPUs, but also lead to significant performance drops. In May of this year, Intel released a statement recommending the motherboard maker to ship Intel default settings in the BIOS default rather than to customize their own settings. Closer now in June, Intel discovers a bug within its ETVB microcode while investigating the root cause for its 13 and 14 Gen instability issues. This doesn't fix the instability problems, and board makers are quickly to roll out any BIOS with a new microcode fix. In July, Intel denies an RMA to Hardware Times editor who already had an RMA and at least 2 dead CPUs which produced instability issues. In July, Wendell from Level 1 Tech and of course Steve Burke from Gamers Nexus are the first big tech media outlets on YouTube to further highlight the instability issues, diving into additional details such as OEM frustrations with the matter and a possible recall. In July, Gamers Nexus highlights a potential oxidation defect being a problem with a certain batch of the Intel 13 and 14 Gen CPUs that might lead to the instability overall problems. Also in July, as a response, Intel says that the 13 and 14 Gen mobile CPUs are not affected by the same instability issues as are the desktop CPUs. But Intel also issues a statement confirming that they have found the root cause of the instability issues, which happen to be an elevated operated voltage, and will be issuing a new microcode fix to its partner by mid-August. Even closer still, Intel confirms that the oxidation issue existed in a previous batch and there is no solution for the CPUs that are already degraded. Now, in August, of course, the law firm initiates a possible class action lawsuit against Intel CPU facing this instability parade. But this is all to be continued, and even better still, of course, in Europe, there's a problem because even European retailers are now seeing return rates 4 times higher than the usual for these CPUs. It's like having a Black Friday returns, but with more tiers and less turkey. Apparently, these CPU issues have gone from a minor inconvenience to a massive headache. Gamers, content creators, and professionals are all up in arms. And now a second law firm, yeah, you got that right, Kaplan Gore has jumped into the fray, asking users to share their CPU horror stories. It seems like they're getting together a case for another class action lawsuit against Intel. Oh my god. Intel tried to calm things down by offering extended warranties, but that's like, putting a band-aid now on a broken arm. They haven't addressed the folks with the pre-built PCs, leaving many high and dry. And get this, Intel has been slow to process the RMA requests, leaving some users without their CPUs for a week or even a month. Talk about adding insult to injury. Kaplan Gore is still gathering info, but it looks like Intel is in for a rough ride. So if you got a shaky Intel CPU, keep your eyes peeled for those updates. In the meantime, maybe, avoid high-stake gaming sessions, unless you enjoy living on the edge. Stay tuned for more tech drama because, well, the courtroom battle is just about to get started. In summary, Intel's 13 and 14 Gen CPUs are facing class action lawsuits due to instability issues. They've promised a patch, extended warranties, and a whole lot of customer service calls. Will this, however, fix the problem before the next release of the next-gen Arrow Lake processors? Well, time will tell. Stay tuned, tech fans. I think the decade-long foundation went from cracking to just breaking under the strain of laziness and innovation and price gouging, and I don't feel one bit sad for them as they had this coming for quite some time now. I do, however, feel quite sad for all of you guys who actually misplaced your trust and now have to endure through this ordeal and hope that everything is going to be fine in the end. Keep on top of the news by subscribing to the channel if you like this content, as I will not misguide you with what's going on. And that's a promise. Guys, that's all for today's Tech Troubles with a twist. And remember, in the tech world, it's not just about the highs and lows, but it's how you ride the wave. Keep your tech cool and your investment even cooler. Subscribe for more tech news with a twist and keep your system stable and strong. And don't forget also, you can see other videos of mine. Well, I, review stuff and fix stuff on occasion because I don't just cover news here on the channel. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much for watching. And if you had stayed until the end, you are absolutely fantastic and you can check out more videos right here. Stay cool, stay awesome, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out.